I think that Western imperialism is actually the only problem this planet has. So I go where the Western imperialism is at work. And I'm looking for patterns, for how things are interconnected. Because there is nothing new what they are doing, for example, in Hong Kong. It was done in many other parts of the world. So I'm trying to show pattern, and I'm trying to show how their propaganda and then how their attacks against countries that are standing on their way, how does it work? I mean, what we saw in Hong Kong, for instance, is nothing new. It happened in every part of the world. I think the same thing was happening here in Hong Kong, through your education, which is still very British. Through certain media channels that are fully controlled by the West, through NGOs and governments from the West that are subsidizing riots. They achieved the fact that almost half of the population here suddenly believe that there is something great that can be found in the past when Britain was colonizing this city. So interestingly, the older people who still remembered the occupation and brutality and humiliation, they didn't buy into this. But the young people who never experienced it on their own skin suddenly felt that there is something great about this Western experiment called freedom and democracy, which actually has nothing to do with freedom and democracy. It was never freedom of democracy for Hong Kong when it was colonized. It was humiliation, it was occupation, and it was suffering for the people of the city. But the propaganda managed to portray it so that almost half of the city went to protest, demanding that this horrible time actually returns, waving British flags, American flags, and other flags, German flags. And so my duty is to bring philosophy, history, and facts together. British propaganda, for example, is the best. In the best, I say cynically, sarcastically, meaning the most effective. You know, if you look at the map of the world 100 years ago, you would see how almost entire planet was colonized by Europe, and increasingly then already by the United States. And they knew already then how to maintain their power and how to brainwash their people, even people they were occupying, to believing that they are actually not raping them, they are liberating them.